In November of 1943, an experienced 37-year-old hunter named Carl Herrick vanished while tracking game in the wilderness near Glastonbury Mountain. For 3 days, there was no sign of him, only forest, cold air, and unanswered questions, until his body was discovered. Herrick had been squeezed with such force that his ribs were broken and his lungs punctured, an ending as violent as it was difficult to explain. Almost exactly 2 years later, a 74-year-old lifelong hunter named Mitty Rivers disappeared near Bickford Hollow, not far from where Herrick had been found. Despite extensive searching, the only trace ever recovered was a single blue handkerchief, left behind in terrain he knew well. The following year, an 18-year-old college student named Paula Weldon set out on a hike and was last seen walking into that same stretch of land. After she disappeared, no trace of her path was ever found, and no body was ever recovered. She simply vanished. Then, 3 years to the day after Paula vanished, in 1949, a 68-year-old World War I veteran named James Tedford stepped off a bus while traveling back to Bennington and was never seen again. Within a year, an 8-year-old boy named Paul Jepson disappeared from a town dump in Bennington in a narrow window of time while his parents were working nearby. And finally, in 1951, the body of 53-year-old Frida Langer was recovered, months after she went missing, in an area that had already been searched extensively. 6 people, spanning different ages, lives, and circumstances, vanished or died within the general vicinity of Glastonbury Mountain, all between the months of October and December. Taken together, this cluster of disappearances and the growing number of strange reports tied to the forested stretch of the Appalachian region would eventually give rise to a name: the Bennington Triangle. Tonight, we're talking about a place long associated with unexplained vanishings, violent deaths, and strange phenomena. It's a region tied to stories of time slips, interdimensional portals, UFO sightings, and cryptid encounters. Murders, disappearances, stories that resist neat explanations. So, lace up your hiking boots and grab your parka, because we're stepping into the vast wilderness of southwestern Vermont, into the dense, dark, cold forests of the Bennington Triangle.